Dear brothers and sisters, Alhamdulillah, I feel very happy to be part of this series. I thank Sadaqatullah for having given this. Alhamdulillah, I attended only few uh, seminars. Particularly, I attended the seminar by Dr. Qazi Azhar. He spoke on STEM to STEAM. Ghaffar Mom spoke on project-based learning methodology, and Shami ma'am, Alhamdulillah, yesterday very good presentation on lesson plan for project-based learning. Actually, my part is related to Ghaffur ma'am and the sister Shami. Again, I am going to continue on project-based learning. But what Ghaffur ma'am dealt with was project-based learning, taking a lesson from the curriculum. Already, what is in the lesson in the textbook, that lesson is taken up and it is dealt in the project-based learning manner. And following that, Sister Shamim gave a talk on when it is implemented, and she excellently has come out with a lesson plan. Now, I am going to talk on the same project-based learning methodology, but we call it as doing the project as science fair project, wherein we will take, the student will choose a topic, it is out of the curriculum, and he will be innovatively selecting a question, a topic, he will do the project, he will do the project following the scientific methodology. So that is what I am going to talk about. Alhamdulillah, nowadays we claim India is an advanced country. Of course, we are advanced in space, atomic, and many other aspects. Are we really advanced? Is the question. You can see the present scenario. There is a race now in finding out, in in coming out with a vaccine for COVID-19. Now, who is going to bring it first? The one who is going to bring it first is really advanced. So, yeah, scientifically advanced in the sense, not only in the advancement in a certain area, but it should be overall, there must be a development. One particular point very often insisted by our mentor, Dr. Kazi Hassan. He used to very often quote, tell, see, last Nobel laureate who got Nobel Prize from India was Sir C.V. Raman. After that, no Indian has got the Nobel Prize. Why is this scenario? And not only that, the premier institution like IIT, also they are not coming up in the top ranking in the global level. But India claimed the IITs to be a very premier research institution, but their ranking at global level goes beyond 200. Why it is so? Of course, we are lacking in science. The reason being, the way we are teaching science need to change. How we are teaching science? Normally, we prepare the student to face the exam. our ultimate aim at the end of the 12 years of schooling is to get a admission in a premier higher educational institute. But what is missing is conceptual understanding is missing in the schools. And students, there is the way science is taught is a direct instruction method. Student accept whatever the teacher teaches. So there is unquestioned acceptance by the student. We need to develop inquisitive nature in the children. And what we need to do? Very important point. That is, Dr. Venkatraman, Nobel laureate, an Indian who did his research in foreign, got the Nobel Prize. When he was interviewed, he was asked a question: what India has to do to clinch Nobel Prize? His answer was to integrate academic and research from the right in the primary. See, in case of Indian scenario, when do we come across the research? At what level do we come across research? What level do we come across? We come across research only in the postgraduate level. When a student come up to the PG in the last semester only, one think about doing the project. That is, they think about the research. But what the Dr. Venkatraman Nobel laureate insists that India has to integrate academic and research from the primary level. What do the advanced countries does for achieving this, integrating academic and research? What do they do? See, you see, for example, in the 4th grade science in America, you see a one lesson. The lesson is how scientists works. That is, a lesson at 4th standard level teaches to the children how a scientist works. See, the students are taught the scientific methodology a scientist follows to invent or discover. What is scientific methodology? There are 4 steps in it. First is, a question rises, that is a problem. That is the title of further research. And he assumes a hypothesis. Hypothesis means this guessed truth. He assumes what he considers may be true, and he plans an experiment. He conducts the experiment and come to a new conclusion. Here one example marigold is given. This is the steps in scientific methodology. This just I am outlining that the steps that are followed by a scientist is learned by the child at 4th standard level. I will go in detail to this later, taking many examples. We are going to see many. Just I am outlining the scientific methodology, what are the steps involved in it. A student study at 4th level, that is a situation in advanced countries like America, Australia, UK, and so on. Now, see, what is our role in making the scientist? So how we have to teach science so that one day our student will become a great scientist. He should clinch Nobel Prize. What we need to do? What we need to do? See, in order to bring up a student as a scientist, what we need to do is we every teacher need to become a scientist. You may be you may surprise. It may be surprise to you how a scientist, a science teacher can become a scientist. How? Then now this session I'm going to deal who is a scientist? What are the characteristics of the scientist? What are the basic characteristics of the scientist? How to bring up those characteristics in the student? If you bring those characteristics in you, you become a scientist. And if you bring those characteristics in the students, you can bring up the student as a scientist. Then once you bring up those characteristics in the those once you bring those characteristics in the students, then the children become the scientists. What is our role now? See, what we need to do is we need to play a triggering role only, not to do everything. Let me tell you what a teacher has to do. First and foremost thing, the way we teach science has to change. Focus on learning today. That is, a role of the teacher is to, first and foremost, the role of the teacher is to motivate the children. And we have to give the very good basic knowledge, age appropriate basic knowledge. And we have to bring in the skills age appropriately, necessary skills we need to bring in. Above everything, very important, as we are teaching in the science class, we need to make the student to think. Are we giving room for the students to think logically, critically, analytically? We have to make them creative too. One example I give, how to motivate the students. You share the great achievements of the students with your students. One example I am giving. See, one student, few years back, 16-year-old student, he participated in International Science Fair. He won the first prize. He got a lot of credit. And he was one among the 1,500 students who participated from the 65 nations. He came up first. You know, it came up as a news in the Hindu. I have given the clipping. You can see in the last paragraph. In the last column, it is quote. It is given here. See how he was able to achieve it. He is telling, in my standard 11, the teacher Subramaniam sir explained the mole concept, relatively a boring one among all the chapters. The way he taught science triggered interest. He got self-motivated, and he learned by himself a lot, and he was able to achieve such a great. See, one more achievement. Now, 9-year-old child today, green ambassador of Manipur Green Vision. It may be amazing. How? See, 9-year-old child, in her when she was doing first standard, she planted 2 trees on where she is living. One day, the government official cut the trees for expanding the wrote, the moment she came to know, she kept crying the whole night. That video came viral, and the CM came to know this, and he declared as the Green Ambassador for Manipur. See, it is the teacher who bring in the who has to inspire the student, and we cannot underestimate our students. Basically, what are the characteristics of a scientist? Basically, scientist is curious. He is observant. He is keenly observe the things, and he should think the three level of thinking, that is a logical, critical, and analytical thinking should have, must be creative. He should he must be objective, consider only the fact, must be honest. How to bring in all this in our children? How to teach our young scientists? First thing is motivating, and then we need to teach them the knowledge they need, relevant knowledge, framework, relevant knowledge. Teach them. We have to teach them to apply. Very important thing is we need to teach them to think like a scientist. How it will be, how we will be able to achieve it. We will be able to achieve it only by teaching them by doing, by doing, by teaching through hands-on experiment only it is possible. So we need to teach them by seeing, doing, and inquiry-based methodology is the one that need to be adopted by the school teachers. How to adopt it? I will tell it when I am explaining the project, science fair project, how to do. I will cover inquiry-based methodology also. So one more thing, they need to think in deeply. They have to think. They should have the thorough knowledge. They have to gain confidence. How we are not supposed to teach science? It is not like history, not just chalk and talk, not for exam, no spoon feeding, memorizing. How we have to handle the science class? We need to anchor the teaching in relevance in the sense uh, a science teacher has to discuss with the children. It should be inquiry based. They must you should raise appropriate questions. Student will be asking questions. He will be playing the role of anchoring. He will demonstrate and teach, and not to spoon feed, not to spoon feed. The teacher has to challenge their mind, not their memory, not their memory. Open the doors to the in. They should open the doors to the inquiry based. They need to teach hands on. See, normally we used to do the activity in the class. Whether we need to do the activity before teaching or activity after teaching. See, it is better always to do the activity, and student will observe, and based on the observation you can raise the question or the student can raise the question. It will go inquiry based. See, very important thing is, what is the purpose of teaching science? What is the purpose of teaching science. When by teaching science, what skill we need to bring in the children? Observation skill. Once they observe, they will look for explanation. That is inferring. As you are doing the hands-on experiments, they will be developing the skill how to measure and communicating skill. They should develop the skill of what they have understood, they must communicate to the other, and classifying the things, analytical thinking, and predicting. See, whatever I have mentioned in the blue can be achieved through normal method of teaching in classroom. But what I have mentioned below, predicting, controlling the variable, interpreting the data, and developing models, all these skills in children can be brought out only by project-based learning. So this is the outcome of National Science Teachers Association. You all know already what is project-based learning and what is its importance. All that has already been done. Now let us come to the science project. See, normally in any school, any question you can ask. 1 minute only. Any question in this?
No questions, sir, so far.
Now we are coming to the main part. See how the science fair project differ from science exhibition. See, normally all the school does the science exhibition. It is very common. What they normally do in science exhibition, what they normally do, normally they display a model that may be a working model or static model, all that. Uh, can you uh, can you tell the few examples of commonly displayed exhibits? Very commonly displayed exhibits. Very common. See, it is only any exhibit.
Okay, people are typing water cycle,
Water cycle,
charge, solar power,
solar
windmill,
power, windmill, yeah,
irrigation,
irrigation, okay,
solar system,
for solar system. See,
volcanic eruption, rainwater
volcanic
harvesting.
eruption, yeah. See, all these exhibits are actually, they are demonstrating what they have already learned. Just they are demonstrating. Maybe sometimes the working model also. But in a science fair project, what the science student will do is, he will select a topic, he will do the project in such a way, he will design an experiment, he will collect the data, he will analyze the data, and he will do the experiment following the scientific methodology, and he does the experiment, he collects the data, he analyzes the data, and come to a new conclusion. See, as I stated, in the science, he will follow the scientific methodology. That is, he will select a topic, he will state a hypothesis, he will conduct the experiment, and collecting the data, analyzing the data, and he will come to a new conclusion. So he will follow the scientific methodology, a step that is followed by the MPhil student or a research scholar or a scientist. So he will not just present prepare a model overnight and present. He will not present it. He will work over a day, 1 or 2, and present. A science fair project is done over a period of long time. He does the work over a period of 3 months, 4 months, 1 year. Now, as of now, we have conducted 12 science fairs. Now the students are so curious. At the end of the academic year, the student asked, during the vacation itself, the student asked, what topic you are going to give me for the next academic year. Students are ready to start their work even in the vacation. So the science fair project mainly involves doing the experiment. That is missing in science exhibition, in doing an exhibit. These are the steps involved in the science fair project. Once the students has carried out the project following the scientific methodology, in the science fair, student will present not the model. Even if it is a working model, he need not present the model. He will display only the report. And what are the content of the report, we will go in detail. I'm only showing the, so like this you will be presenting. This is a science fair in which a student present his report. It is a science fair that was held in New College few years back. See, all that the boards which are standing on both sides are the projects. This photo is the inauguration photo. Now coming to the main point, how to do a project. Yeah, what is the core difference between the science exhibit and the science fair project? That we are going to see in detail. And now you said few examples of the exhibit that you are, normally it is done in the schools. Now I give you one good example. How to convert a exhibit into a science fair project. I just tell you, you have a project idea. You have a project idea that with that project idea, student come out with a model and they display in an exhibition. Now I give you one good example. How to make, once you have a project idea, how you can make it as a science fair. I give you one good idea, good example. As you pointed out, one example, windmill, one exhibit, it is commonly very common. See, in case of a student doing a project that is a windmill, what the student will do is he will really construct a windmill and he will display it. And while you might have seen in the exhibitions, he will be giving the connection and that the fan will rotate. It is not supposed to be. Actually, the windmill, the wind has to blow, the blades has to rotate. From that, the current should generate, and the student should have kept a one bulb or something in the series that should glow. That should glow. That is actually the case. Now I tell you, even if a student does a windmill project, he has an idea of doing the windmill. To make it as a science fair project, what he will do is he will be making the fan to rotate as the wind blows, and he will measure. Student will measure. It involves experiment. For a given design of the windmill, and he may take it to the terrace, or he may take it to the place where there is a strong wind blows, and he will measure how much current is produced. He will measure. So it involves measurement. It is not that one-time measurement. Now it is a core difference between, he will be doing the experiment, but it is not that the experiment that somebody is giving and he is doing. In a science fair project, student will think and the student will design his own experiment. It is not that a experiment that is given in a some textbook or somewhere that is using. He will the procedure may be the referred one, but the design, what he is going to measure will be, he will design his own experiment. I give the one example with this windmill as an example. That is, see, for the given for the given project, he is measuring the output. What is actually the merit of a windmill? See, he has come out with a windmill, and he climbed it works. He claims it is very, its efficacy is good. It is more efficient. What is a measure for the efficiency? In terms of what it should be? Any answer, sir? See, when windmill is a power
KW.
generator, windmill is a power generator. He has produced it. He is climbing. It is working well. Good. It is a very, very efficient. Efficiency is high. Well, what is the measure for that? Any answer? What is the measure for efficiency of a power generator? What is the measure? See,
Kilowatts,
yeah,
megawatts.
yeah, power generator. Now, once he has produced, he has to say it gives the 5 watt, 10 watt, 1000 kilowatt. He has to tell, so he has to measure. So first thing is he has to measure its output. Then he has to think, suppose he has designed a small one, it is only giving the 5 watt it is giving, then he has to think, he has to now think, if I want to improve the output to 10 times, what am I to do? He is thinking. Can you now tell me the output of a windmill will depend on what factors? It will depend on what factors. What are the factors that determine the output of the windmill? What are the factors? Is it the fan size? Any answer? What are the factors that determine the efficiency of the windmill? Any answer?
Size of the blades,
Yeah, size of the blade,
blade
the
orientations, strength of the
blade
wind,
orientation, and the speed of the wind, and so on. These are the factors. We call it as variable. So you will understand the variable, and if we want to improve the efficiency, if he is having the one particular blade size, if it is made twice, what would be the outcome? He is keeping the blade in a particular angle. If that is increased to another angle, what would be the outcome? For everything, for every variable he is changing, he will get a one table of data, and he will be ultimately coming out for the one uh, for the given wind speed, what should be the right dimension to produce the maximum output. So this is what is the science fair project is. So the next question is, say once a teacher decide to uh, guide a student how to do the science fair project following the scientific methodology, and the teacher become a research guide, and the student who is going to do the project is become a research scholar, and they are together, they are going to do a research for over a period of 3 months or 4 months, and I will give the good number of examples of the projects that have come out over the last 12 years. Our organization OMIET has conducted the science fair. Then the next step. So now I have just made it clear what is the difference between the science exhibit and a science fair project. And next step involves, once a teacher decides uh, to conduct the uh, science fair, to prepare the students for the science fair project, what is the next step involved? Next step involved is project idea. What is the uh, what is the title? On what topic the student will do the project? See, that we call it as a project idea. So next step is immediate next step is how to select a topic. That, see, normally normally how to select the topic, in the sense you need to understand how a scientist come out with an invention or discovery. What is the key for invention? What is the key for invention? Observation. See, all the discoveries, all the discoveries were either planned one or accidental. In either cases, the very key part of the invention is the observation. So, to select the problem, you look around. You look around. What is the uh, any problem that is existing in society, and by observation, you can select the problem. And one more important thing is, very, very important thing, that is, we are expecting a student to do a science fair project. Of course, it is a research, and you may be doubtful how we can expect a student to select a topic, new topic, and how they can do it. You may be doubtful. See, this is what the doubt we had. It was I can say that 12 years back, when the Dr. Kaziazar visited Chennai, and he conducted a seminar on the concept of say no for exhibition, say yes for science fair. And we were also doubtful it may be possible in advanced countries, and how it is possible in in our context. We are struggling always. We are struggling to finish the syllabus. How we have to do all that? That was the question. Doubt we had. See, actually, what I'm going to give the number of examples of the project at the basic level, at the beginning level, and at advanced level. Uh, the projects that are done in the by our Tamil Nadu students at the national level, other state students, and I will give also the examples of the projects which won at international level in next session. See, the main thing is what is expected is, although it is a research project, although you are going to do the project uh, observing, although you are going to do the project following the scientific methodology, what is expected is you are not going to invent anything new principle. It is not expected from the school student. The student is not expected to invent a new principle or new law, nothing. See, what is expected is the established uh, scientific facts you should know to apply in a particular context. That is what is needed. And student can select the topic in such a way he is applying a one particular principle or particular concept. Uh, Actually, you will select the topic in such a way the experiment involved is capacity. So we are conducting the science fair in which the students from the standard 4 participate, standard 4 and 5 primary level, and then we have the middle level, junior level, and the senior level higher secondary students. So student will select a topic, and he will not be inventing something new. He will be just applying a known application to a new context. And the only thing is, as he is applying to the new context, he will come out with a result that will be something new. I give the one good example. That is the only one example I am now citing. That is a student is primary student has done a project on which brand of milk is the best. Yeah, I'm going to purchase a milk. I'm giving the 25 rupees. I can purchase any brand. Student has taken up a project and he has come out with a result. He is recommending Avin milk is the best or XRY is the best. This project has been done by the student, that is a 5th standard student, 4th standard student, that the already established tests are there, methylene blue test. There is an indicator. When the indicator is applied to the milk, there is a color change. And based on the color change, the time taken for the color to change is a measure of the quality of the milk. So the simple test, yes, to a 5th standard student has to take the milk in the test tube. He has to take the indicator. He has to add. He has to just observe the time taken for the color change. But finally, he is coming to a conclusion which milk is the best. And you might have heard about the solar cooker, and many things you might have come across in exhibition. One student has done a solar cooker, but he has devised a solar cooker and he has come out with a conclusion For cooking the Maggi, how long will it take? For cooking the semia or cooking the rice, for cooking the curd rice, how long will it take? So in a science exhibition, the student just leave it, just the cooker works. A student has come out with a solar lunch box. Yeah, lunch box is normally taken to the office. Yeah, some for the lunch, some food item. A student has come out with a solar uh, lunch box, and the student recommends that for the sambar rice to be reheated, how long it has to be exposed. And like if you are purchasing a micro oven, the micro oven manufacturer recommends for to reheat the idli, this is the time to be kept. To reheat the chicken, this is the time to be kept. And a student who has designed a solar lunch box has come out with a recommendation that this is the time duration that is necessary. So inshallah, in next class, next session, I will be dealing only the examples, and very, very important core point of the in doing the science fair project is designing the experiment. It will be amazing. Student will design the experiment by his own. So I will start with a very basic example, and as well I will give the medium level as well as the advanced level. Inshallah, I will be discussing tomorrow. Inshallah. And any question?